But now you figure out, what am I going to do? Well, obviously from there comes curriculum, and Dawn will be talking to us about that in just a few minutes. But past the curriculum, there comes us. It's your support group. We're here. We provide field trips and other activities that Sherry, I don't know why I didn't. Sherry's going to be talking to us also in a little while about and other extracurricular and homeschooling opportunities for your children to get involved in other than the schooling that you do at home. And then past that, we are not the only homeschool group in town. There is also Vicksburg Christian Home, thank you, Vicksburg Christian Home Educators. I'll get it out right. Not enough coffee. They also are a support group here in town. They're very small at the moment, but they are still functioning and available, and they're women who have been homeschooling forever there that are very friendly and loving and would more than gladly welcome people into their group as well. And the other local group is CHEC, Christian Home Educators Connection, which is a large homeschool group in Jackson. They have 5 elementary groups, depending upon the area that you live in. CHEC 1 covers Vicksburg through Clinton, all the way down to Utica, all the way up to Yazoo, I believe. And then there's 4 other groups around the city of Jackson, depending on where you live. And then CHEC 6 is their junior high school group. And they are a very large, very active group. And several of us are members of multiple groups. And there's nothing that says you can't be. More the merrier, more opportunities and offerings for your children. Some people prefer just to stick with one group because it's simpler. Some prefer to be a part of several groups, to have friends in multiple areas because they travel a lot in different areas. That's something for you as a parent to decide how much or how little you want to do. So there's the local support groups and activities. And then past that, there is, on the next level up, is the state group. Mississippi Home Educators Association is a statewide group that is set mainly for homeschool conference purposes. However, they work in conjunction with local support groups to provide statewide activities and programs, campouts, a film fest. If any of your kids like to journal or make movies, they have a film festival every year. They do art shows and writing competitions on the state level. Most of the MHEA board right now is located in and around the Starkville area. And because of that, we are blessed to have Mississippi State as the location of our homeschool conference every year. It's always the closest weekend to the 15th of May. And I meant to write it down, and I didn't. I think it's the 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's a Thursday night. It starts a Thursday night. There's always a social and the film fest of the kids who've made the movies during the year. We'll have a film competition that night. They always do some kind of, last year was an ice cream social. In years past, they have had hot dog fry, they've had campouts, they've had all kinds of, Thursday nights is some type of interactive, get to know the leadership and get to know people from other support groups type of activities and settling in. And then Friday morning, starting bright and early, there is a used book sale. Exhibit hall is open so that you can meet some of the publishers and take a look at curriculum past what we have here. And Dawn will talk more about that as well later. And then there's workshops about a lot of the things that I'm talking about today in a lot more detail. Some of the publishers have personalized workshops, how to use their material. Sometimes they address specific family issues or educational teaching issues. So it's a full day of workshops and general sessions with a guest speaker, a keynote speaker. And then Saturday will be more workshops, and the exhibit hall will be open to the public. That's the 17th, 18th, and 19th of May. And then there really isn't anything on the national level because the states vary so much. We don't really do a lot interstate-wide. However, if you were to travel to another state and you were to Google and look up another homeschool conference, they would more than welcome you in and tell you what's going on in their area and plug you in there as you're traveling through. Homeschool community tends to reach out to other homeschoolers from other places and support one another in any way that we can. The last thing that I want to mention is HSLDA, more vegetable soup, I know. Homeschool Legal Defense League. The HSLDA is a national organization. Thank you. Oh, I was wrong with my dates. Thanks, Renee's coming here. It is the 15th, 16th, and 17th. So I was really off my dates.
Speaker's Ted Tripp.
And yes, the keynote speaker is Ted Tripp, who is a fantastic speaker. And also Dr. Tommy Mitchell is going to be the other speaker. There's going to be a teen track for the kids and a whole bunch of other things. But we'll talk more about that during the school year. I'm going to have that all over the page for anybody who wants to travel with us or meet us up there. And we're hoping to have some Vicksburg fun while we're up there too, have some kind of an activity for us while we're there. So more people to come with me, the better. I always enjoy Homeschool Conference. It's my highlight of my year. I have a lot of fun traveling and doing. Okay, HSLDA is where I was. HSLDA is the Legal Defense League, and you know, they're always there, and you never know you need them until you need them. And then they come in and save the day over and over and over again. They offer, for being a member of a local support group, they offer discounts to their services. If you tell them you're a part of our support group, you get a discount for joining. If you ever need their services, that is. We always pray that we don't, but we're thankful that they're there, just in case. Okay, that's it. I rambled on and on and on and on a lot. Any questions so far? Yes, please, go ahead.
So most of the time in public school, they have an age limit where they have to start school. If they don't turn 5 before they hit that point, then they can't go to school.
Yeah.
So in a homeschool setting, how is that different, or is it the same?
There is completely different. There is no requirements whatsoever. You start when your child is ready. I can tell you from a personal experience, I'm sure that everybody's going to echo this somewhat. You teach your child at home anyway.
Right.
When your child is with you from a baby through their toddler years, they're learning, they're growing. Life is education, education is life. You know, they go to the grocery store with you and they're learning things. They're shopping with you, they're learning things. They learn things from you in the kitchen. They're learning their alphabet, they're learning to count, they're learning to sing. You're already homeschooling. You're just not getting the praise and the credit for it.
My other question, which leads into my other question. Well, let's say, you know, in a public school setting, children are tested to see if they're advanced or could be accelerated to another classroom. On a homeschool level, you know, that could be easily done on a faster level too. But they just don't have the social interaction or emotional, you know, conflict to deal with like they would in the public school. So if your child, let's say, is, you know, in a first grade but is actually needs to be bumped to the second or third grade, how do you accomplish that within the school district? So
School district doesn't care.
okay.
You buy the books that suit them.
So if they graduate early from high school,
They graduate
early from high school. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have one child who could read and write by the time she was 3.
Okay.
So we started
Okay.
because she looked at me and she said, "Mom, I want that book." And I looked at her and I laughed. I said, "That's sweet, honey."
Yeah.
And she said, "No, Mama, I want to read that book." And I'm thinking, "You can't read that book." And she pulled it off and she started reading that book. And guess what? We read that book that week. And we started school that week. I have another who wasn't ready until she was 7. The beauty of homeschooling is you deal with the child one-on-one at their level. And Dawn's going to talk a lot about that with the curriculum too.